Alright, so the first thing I did was I came out and I opened all the windows, emptied everything out, pulled car seats out, any trash or stuff that was in here, pulled it out. My carpet's already removed. It was pretty bad, so I removed it a while back, and now finally have the cash flow to buy new carpet. So got the new carpet here to install. So what you want to start with, I usually, when I'm taking apart interior, I start with the seats because they are the easiest and the fastest. You're gonna have 14 millimeters for the front seats, and then there's 2 more on each seat in the front, and then 12 millimeters for the back. And then I still haven't quite looked into these seats yet. They're going to be 12 millimeters right there. 2 of them, looks like. So you're going to want to go ahead and start by getting all of that out. You're going to have to remove these as well, as long as all the rocker panels, all the panels along the top here, and the back panels here as well. And the one across the back here, you'll need to remove. And I believe that's about everything. Oh, and the center console, actually. You're gonna have to remove the center console as well. You're gonna have to do some trimming when it comes to it because, well, at least with mine I will. The carpet that I got doesn't have any holes in it, so I have to trim all the holes in and put everything to fit. When you're taking the seats out, be careful not to hit the doors with the seat tracks. You'll put some big scratches, and also try to watch out for your panels if you're trying to protect them. The seat tracks can cause big scratches and lots of damage really fast. Okay, so the seats are out. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the center console. Pretty simple. It's going to be Phillips screwdrivers, and then down in the bottom, I haven't emptied it out yet. Do that real quick. Down on the bottom, you've got some 10 millimeter bolts that are going to have to come out, and then it should come right off. So once you've done that, once you've got the center console and the seats all out, you'll probably actually be able to pull your carpet out at that point. You won't need to remove much more to get it out. Just kind of give it a tug in a few different spots. It should come right out. I already pulled mine out. This is an awesome time to deep clean everything. When you get the carpet out, it's going to be absolutely dirty under there. This one's absolutely dirty because, well, I lived in the country, have kids. I'm not super careful about it. It's a truck. I mean, it's going to get dirty. It is what it is. But it's an awesome time to go ahead and deep clean your seats, your floor, your door panels, your headliner if you need to, everything. Now is the time to clean. Okay, so my truck has rear heat and air, so you've got to pull it back before you can go up. Otherwise, the little holder there is going to keep you from getting it out. This one was already missing the little knob that goes on there, but if yours has it, it just pulls right off. And then you've got 2 connectors, I believe. Oh, maybe just one. 1 or 2. You've got one for the park brake that you probably really don't have to unplug, but I'm going to unplug because I want to clean it. And then you've got one here for your fan control. And then you should have one, get it a little better so I can see it. You got one back up in there. Sorry. Got one back up in there for your rear window. Unplugs. Center console is out. Pretty simple. So you can just use cups. Use 1 cup to put all the junk and things you find in there. Coins, screws, whatever maybe. And then I use another cup to contain all my bolts. I just stick them all in one because I know where they all go. It's not a problem. If you wanted to get multiple different ones, you could have one for the chairs in the front, one for the chairs in the back. And you could have one that holds the screws for all your panels. However you want to go about it. But I just throw them all in one. Alright, next you're going to start removing your kick panels and door guards. Once you get those off, you can then remove your A, B, and C pillar panels. And that's pretty much it. Once you've got to that point, then you just go nuts cleaning. You may find that there are some accessories added to your vehicle. This particular one, I believe, is a alarm. You can just undo the screws because you're going to need that loose so you can get this out of here. Okay, so next is going to be all your seat belts. Most of them are going to be 14s. In fact, I think they are all 14s. You got one here, one on the other side over there, one there, one here, here, and the last one. So you just need to undo them and get them out of the way. These ones you'll just probably take all the way out, clean them and whatnot. And these ones can just slip up and hang out of the way. Once you get the seat belts off, you can get these panels off. And then you're pretty much home free. You get the kick panels and these two panels here to come off. And I believe that's all the panels. I'm going to try to do it without removing these panels because they're kind of a lot. There's a lot to them to remove them. So I'm going to see if I can get them out. Get the carpet in and installed properly without removing them. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so next you're going to identify all the pieces. Mine came with 4 pieces. It came with 2 rear wheel well pieces and a rear decks or rear cargo section. So this is all one piece. And then it came with the passenger area. So it's form fit roughly, but it is very oversized and none of the holes are cut. I'm pretty happy with the quality of the carpet, but there's going to be a lot of shaping and trimming in order to get this to work. So I kind of got it laid in here and I trimmed. I started off by just laying it over the top of everything and then did a slice down the very middle from the front because it was one solid piece, one square solid piece. So I split it down the middle to just slowly kept coming back as I felt I needed to go further and further forward. And then I found that it's actually too long. So what I was doing is I was using these humps here that go along with all the different parts. So this is the the rear heater fan, and then this is the controls, and this is just the front seat mount. So I just kind of followed those contours to kind of decide where it should go. And then there's also the contours back here for the rear seats and the hump for the driveline and everything. So just kind of followed the contours and got it kind of where it should be and trimmed it to fit. So I've still got a lot more trimming to do. You can see there's this pad on the underside, and I have a feeling this is probably about where I'm going to trim it roughly, because that's going to lay pretty good as far as length in there. I feel that's going to lay about where it should. So now I just got to go through and just keep trimming and shaping and forming and pushing and trimming and shaping and forming and pushing until it sits right, and then we'll carry on. Alright, as you go along, you start pushing and shoving and trimming. You start getting it kind of together, more or less. And just kind of try to leave yourself extra carpet until you start putting panels in. And that way you know what the panels will cover. I might have got a little short right there. But I think I have a little bit of room to play with on that because I got extra carpet back here. So you just keep pushing on it. If you need a heat gun, use a heat gun to heat things up to help you mold it in. Just be careful not to melt it. Probably a blow dryer might be a better bet because it doesn't get quite as hot. And you just keep pushing and shoving and working it in. As you go along, you can start slowly installing different panels and things to kind of get an idea of the fit. I think I'm doing pretty good so far. It's all looking pretty good. So I'm going to install front kick panel, and then I'm going to move back and trim back here a little more so I can get the B pillar on, and the B pillar on this side as well. I kind of had a hard time with this part right here. I couldn't remember how the factory one did it. And then this one right here was kind of tight, so I needed to trim it down. Luckily enough, the seat's gonna cover that. I have a feeling that the factory carpet kind of went down low right there anyways though. So, but that's where we're at. Eventually, after you've trimmed and pushed and prodded and shoved as much as you can, you've got it all situated. So the only thing left now, all my little panels as I was going along, I was putting them on, cleaning them and putting them on. All I have left now is to put the holes for all the seat belts. I was able to do one there, turned out pretty good. And then put the seats in, and then these attach onto the seat back panel. This is something that the 3rd gen has, but the 2nd gen does not. So this kind of threw me for a loop because I'm not overly familiar with the 3rd gen carpet kit. I've never actually, this is the first carpet kit I've ever done. But I threw the carpet kit to this one away quite some time ago. So I didn't have anything to reference to as far as where the cuts are supposed to be on certain parts. I was fortunate enough that I have a 2nd gen I was able to kind of reference, and it was close enough that I could get it figured out. Overall, I'm very happy with this carpet kit. It was from OC Auto Carpets, I believe. I'll put a link to their website in the description. Pretty reasonable shipping speed, good cost. Overall, it was just over $500 after shipping and tax, which for the quality I think is quite fair. I didn't get the best high quality. I got just the standard OE style, and I'm very happy with it. I didn't feel that I needed the extra plush fancy dancy carpet because after all, it is a 4runner. I am going to be wheeling it and off-roading and camping and all the craziness, so I didn't feel the need to spend the extra. I think it was $100 or more for the extra plush carpet, but I did spend the extra money for the mass backing, which helps with heat and noise. I'm just kind of a stickler for noise. I really don't like excess road noise and wind noise, so this will help hopefully. Anyways, so now I'm going to get putting the seats together, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now we're doing seat belts. If you take pictures before you do all this, it'll help you remember where they go. The other way to kind of help you is to find the hole, is the seatbelt holes usually go through the body. So the nut is here and it threads in, so you can kind of use that as a guide to kind of get an idea of where it's at, to feel for the hole. And all you're gonna do is just cut a small circle so that you can fit the bolt through and bolt it down. So, stupid spider. Once you've got all your seat belts in, I went ahead, I used kind of a guide from my second gen 4runner, and this is kind of how it's done on that one. A little different. I left a little bit to kind of hang on to it to help keep the carpet where it should be. And then for the seat holes, they're going to be a little more difficult. I'm just going to have to use the video that I have and pictures to find out exactly where the seat holes are. So just kind of go along and feel for them. Hopefully you can feel them. If not, if you can find holes through the bottom, you can poke a screwdriver through, kind of get an idea. So there's a seat hole right there. So I think, no, it's a seat belt. There's another one right there, one there. So maybe that one's a belt and that one's the seat. Either way, so just start poking holes for all your bolts, and then put your seats back in and you're all done. Alright, I've got the carpet all installed. All my panels are installed and back in, ready to go. All I have to do is finish the seat backs. And when I went to go do so, the clips just started breaking. So I went ahead and stopped, ordered up some clips. I'll include a Toyota part number in the description. You can get it from any Toyota dealer. Some places will be able to cross-reference that part so you can get it aftermarket. For me, it was a little cheaper to get them from Toyota because I have a good discount through them for working for them. So seats are all in, everything's good to go. This is the last part. So you're just gonna fold it forward and going to pull up on this. Be careful because you don't want to break it's kind of like a cardboard wood material that makes it. So the clips breaking, that's one thing because you can replace those, but replacing that part might be a little more difficult. So try not to break that. Okay, so it was proving to be kind of difficult to do it with the carpet all the way up over there on the seat itself, so I just kind of pulled it back a little bit. This part just rests up there. There's nothing that holds it, so it just pulled back real easy. I am using 6mm 1/4 inch staples. Nothing too expensive, nothing too crazy. They stick through the opposing side of this board just barely. We're talking minuscule, about the same as what the factory was. When you get it apart, you'll actually see the poke holes through where the staples actually go all the way through the board from the original staples. I'm being extremely generous with them, dang near on top of each other. The factory one was actually glued as well. I'm gonna try doing it without gluing, see how it goes, see if I like the way it looks. If it doesn't, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back apart and glue it. I just didn't have glue, and I don't feel like going to the store right now to get it, so I'm gonna give it a shot. To do the corners, you just cut little triangle pieces out as you fold it around to make it sit nice and clean. Turns out pretty good. It's actually, I'm pretty happy with that. Looks quite nice, pretty clean on the backside. There's like 4 or 5 staples right there. I mean, I just hammered them in there, really got it going. So, can just continue on. And there it is. When you get to the section where the clips are, you just gotta trim the carpet around them. because my carpet was actually just a smidge too long. Pay attention, I left one intact so that way I could kind of reference so that I didn't forget where they did different things. So like right here in this particular spot, they don't trim it and wrap it all the way around. They actually leave it full and put a small cut here to allow for the seat striker to latch. Looks like you're gonna need about 7 clips per board. I haven't pulled the other board apart, but I would imagine it's identical because they are the same size. So you'll need a total of 14 brand new clips. My work actually screwed up on its catalog. It said I needed 28, so I don't know what all that's including. But I ordered 20 because I was like, I'll probably be able to save some. So I've got more than enough. So worked out good. And it looks like it's gonna be okay without glue. It looks pretty good. Sits pretty flush. I think over time it'll sit even better. I made sure to put it pretty stinking tight though. I pulled the carpet real good to get any slack out. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. We'll play it by ear. There it is. All finished up. I think without glue, still looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'll take it. It was a little bit of a pain to get those clips in. I really don't like those clips. They don't give a solid click confirmation like I would like, but I think they'll hold. They're original, so they must. They held for 20 years. There it is.